Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't watched my first video already, go ahead and watch that first video. It's McDonald's, how I got my first job at McDonald's, story time. Most of my videos are story time because I feel like I just want to share this stuff with you guys, which is really cool. If you want to add me on my social media, you can add me on my Snapchat and Instagram. That is LILJAKSWAG. Also, I'll have the link in the bio below, so you can click on that. You want to follow me on my YouTube channel, it's just Yusuf Sharif. Also, that's my Facebook also. So if you want to add me on any of my social media, I will have it all linked below. But let's jump right into how I got fired from Walgreens. So starting off, before I can tell you how I have to tell you how I got hired at Walgreens. So how I got hired is I applied online and I called the store manager and talked to him. He set up an interview time with me. I won't say where this Walgreens is, just going to leave it at that. It was a suburban area. It was a really nice Walgreens. So he brought me in for an interview. I passed the interview with flying colors, especially because I also had manager experience. I've been a manager since I was 16. Started very young. I'm the kind of person who is very I go out there and I do it. I just get it done. So if I give you any advice, just go out there, do what you need to do, and start young. I'm telling you, if you start young, you will reach a lot of high goals. But anyway, get into there. So I worked for that Walgreens for a little while. Pros and cons of working for Walgreens is that cons are it is really tedious. It is really tedious work. You have to rotate everything. Everything's real small. Everything is sectioned off in like the store is sectioned off in like letters. It's really weird. It's I don't know. So like and it's like not like A B C D E F. It's like A B then like H W, and it's weird. It's sectioned off in like letters, and then you can also find products by like looking at the numbers on the thing. We also had like these like little Mylar guns. You would scan like stuff, and you could find stuff where stuff is, and where stuff goes. That was kind of helpful, but it was still tedious. I don't like tedious stuff, but you know, I did it. It was a job. So yeah, it was what it was. Also, another con is that, oh my God, Walgreens does holidays. They just do holidays like crazy. Oh my God. We would get truck and we would have so much merchandise. And like how, well, this is how I know Walgreens does, and I think a lot of other pharmacies does this too. But Walgreens, we would always do a holiday early. So Christmas, you would have Valentine's. Like before, like Christmas would be coming up, you have your Christmas stuff. Then you would have Valentine's Day stuff coming in while you're getting Christmas stuff. Then Valentine's Day would come around, and then you're getting like St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, we didn't get that much stuff for St. Patrick's Day because it's not as a big of a holiday. But then around St. Patrick's Day, you're getting all this Easter stuff, and it was crazy. So that was one of the cons for me. I didn't like. And everything was so tedious, and you have to follow the planograms. Planograms were not hard. It wasn't too hard, but it was tedious. It was very tedious work. Also, pros though, I got to work in the pharmacy. I got to learn about all the different types of drugs, what drugs can't mix with which. And I got to learn about, you know, the side effects, stuff like that, insurance stuff. Like I got to learn all that. And I met some very great people. And so I got to work in the pharmacy. I would say it was a good experience. I would like that. And I also got certified in the pharmacy. So I'm Ohio State. Oh my God, everything. Yeah. So I'm Ohio State certified in the pharmacy. So anyway, so I'm working at this store for a couple months. I got to know everybody. Everybody was really nice. I didn't really have many problems. They didn't really like, because again, I was still new to shift leading at Walgreens. I was used to shift leading at like, you know, Save a Lot and stuff in my other jobs. So it's a little different. Every place is a little different, especially working in pharmacy. So, but I got the hang of it after a while. I still wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. So I made some mistakes and stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, I would say it was a pretty good experience. So then down the road, I had talked to my store manager and I told him, hey, you know, I need to change my schedule because I have to take care of my father. My father's kind of sick. So I need to change my schedule. And I I think I forgot the schedule that I asked for. That schedule was different. It was, I think I asked for, no, so I asked for, so I was already closing. So I was closing the store because most of the time, so they gave me a lot of closings because a lot of people did not want to close. So I was the closing manager. So I would work like, because, I would get, I would get 5 days a week. You get 5 days a week. It was 40 hours a week. And I would do 3 closings, 1 mid and 1 open. And so I asked for all closings. All the other managers there had no problem with it because, again, I'm going to tell you, if you go anywhere, most managers do not want to close. Most managers want to open. So I figured since I'm pretty much working most of the opens, hey, I can make it easier for y'all, 2 more days. Can I just close? So I asked him, could I just close for the last 2 days or whatever? And so all the other managers was cool with it. They was like, especially when this one girl, she was like, yes. She was like, yes, I'm cool with it. So everybody's cool with it but him. So he tells me, no, I don't think that you should be closing all the days, blah, blah, blah. He said he wanted it to be fair, which was understandable. But he refused to give it to me. And I was like, hey, I kind of need a set schedule right now. So he was like, well, what I can do is, so no, I think he just called around. He called around and he started talking to other store managers and he found one that wanted me. It was actually 2, but it was one store I was like, I did not want to go to. It was in the hood, which I had no problem with. I actually worked there before. I had helped them out before multiple times, but I was like, this is not a store I want to work at for like just permanently. Now that I look back, I probably should have. Maybe I wouldn't have got fired. But so he finds a store. It was, this store was like in the suburbs, but it was like sub-ghetto. It was like on the cuff of suburb and ghetto. So that store manager wanted me to come work for his store. And he said that he would give me all closings. But the hours was different for his store. The hours for my store that I was at starting off, was, we would close at 10. We would open at like 7 and close at 10. That store would open at 8 and close at 11, which wasn't too bad, an hour off, but I don't know, it was whatever. So I decided, whatever, I'm just gonna work my schedule. It's gonna just work the schedule. He got 3 closings, 1 mid and 1 morning. And so he comes to me, he's like, hey, do you want to do that? And I told him no. I said, no, thank you. I'm just going to just work my schedule and just whatever. So then he came to me again, said, are you sure that you don't want it? He said, I think that'll be a really great opportunity for you. Kind of gives you what you want, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, no, thank you. I'm good. So then he came to me again and he asked me again, hey, can you go to this store? He really needs help. And he would really love if you came there and everything. And I was like, no, thank you. So then my assistant manager had already told me about the store manager at that store. She told me kind of how he was. And she said that he was pretty much no joke and he was like real serious and he was kind of a little bit ignorant. So then hearing that, I was like, oh, well, no. So then my store manager comes to me again and he tells me, please, now he's begging me, like literally he's begging. He's like, please, can you go help him out? How about this? It will only be for a couple months, like 4 months. And actually it was like 3 or 4 months. And he's like, just go help him out, please. And then you'd come back here, you just help him out for a little bit and you'd actually kind of get the schedule that you need for a little bit and everything. So I was like, I was about to say no, which I shouldn't. If I had said no, I probably would be still working for Walgreens, but everything happens for a reason. So that's how I look at life. So I told him yes. I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. I said, but I'm doing it for you. I said, remember that. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing it for you. And he was like, okay, cool. Thank you. So they transfer over my schedule and stuff. I get in there. They give me a situation. They give me my keys and stuff. They get me in the computer. And so I worked there for a little bit. Had a lot of issues there. That store was... People were always constantly stealing out of the store. We had to call the police a lot. It was just crazy. The employees had attitudes. It was really bad. A lot of them did not want to do what I said. I would ask them to do stuff. And they would just, half it. Like, they would just half-ass it, like, literally. And so, like, you literally had to babysit them employees. Like, you had to literally babysit them. Like, if you asked them to do something, you literally have to go and check up on, like, literally have to check and make sure they did it. Because they would say they did it, but sometimes they would not do it, or they would shove it somewhere else, or do all kinds of stuff. But the store was pretty decent for the most part. His back room was really clean. I like that part. So I worked there for a while, and it was okay. So then, by the time, I think it was 4 months or 3 months, I can't remember, but by the 4th month comes time for me to go back to my store. They asked me, hey, can you stay here a little bit longer? He tells me the DM, because I knew the DM. The DM was he was really nice. And he says, the DM was wanting me to ask you, can you please just stay here for 2 more months, just until we can find you a replacement, blah, blah, blah. Or until because we had managers, like assistant managers in training, and they were still in training. He said, or until, first they came to me and said, well, until we found a replacement. Then they came back and said, well, until these assistant managers in trainings get out of their classes. And then that way we can start moving some managers around and you'll be able to go back to your store. So me being the dumb boy that I am, I was like, oh, sure, why not? So I stayed there a little longer, kept encountering more problems. Came a situation where girls started arguing with each other. They started saying that I was treating one better than the other, and I was not. Even came a thing where they actually put me into the office, and they actually was asking me about this one girl, because the customer had complained about, what did they say? Somebody had said something about me touching somebody, like touching this one girl, that I had touched her on her behind or something like that. So they pulled me into the office like, hey, we have some allegations about conversations of inappropriateness of they said we had a customer complained about an inappropriate conversation between a boy and a light-skinned girl. They didn't even know any names. And so I said, I have never had any inappropriate conversations with any employees here at all. So then they bring the girl that they think she was like kind of the only really light-skinned girl there. Well, there's actually 2 of them, but they talked to both of them. And both of them defended me with flying colors. They said, Yusuf has never touched me, never had any appropriate conversations with me. They said, Yusuf actually he's a really good gentleman. Literally, if I would bump into you, like I would literally stop and say, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. And I was like very like that. But everybody knew that about me. And so, they defended me and everything. So that was the first sign of certain things that I kind of figured was going on and that they were trying to do. So that got debunked. And so they couldn't get me with that. So then, keep working, days going by, just keep working, just closing the store or whatever. So then one day, then a couple days later, then like a couple months in or whatever, I end up getting a new car. It was kind of like my dream car. It's not my dream car, but it was one of my dream cars. And it was a beauty. It was actually, I can't even tell you what kind of car it was. It was a Jeep Renegade. I actually wanted the Trailhawk version, but I got the Latitude. I was just happy to have a Renegade. So I got a Jeep Renegade. It was red. It was beautiful. And I brought that car to work, and I parked it next to my boss's car. And so I get into the store, and he says to me, once I was in the office, I'm getting ready. I'm counting the safe, getting, ready to start my shift. And he says to me, whose red car is that outside? I said, he said, is that your car? I saw that red one. I said, yeah. I said, I just got it. And then he says to me, oh, how you afford that? So I said, excuse me? Yeah. He said, you're not making that much. How do you afford that? I'm like, hard work. I said, hard work. And that was hard work paid off. I worked hard for that car. So that was kind of a sign, but again, I just rubbed it off my shoulders like, oh, whatever. So then from there, things just kind of went downhill. And one day I come in right after a situation where a girl had quit. She literally just walked out because she was mad. Her and another employee were just getting into it. I tried to de-escalate it, but she went off on me. Like, I don't know what it was. I've always had problems with female workers. I don't know why. And like I can say, and this is not me being stereotypish or it's not me being sexist or anything. Guys never really gave me a problem when it came to work. They would just do their work and just be done with it. Girls would constantly want to go to the bathroom, constantly don't want to work. And it's just, that's just from my experience. Every experience is different. You might have a different experience in your life, but that was my experience is with that. So she quits, she leaves. And I made, because every time something happened, you have to make a report about it. So I made a report about it and I emailed it to his email. So I come in the next day, they put me into the office, and I'm thinking that we're about to start talking about the situation of the girl walking out. But no, it was not that. So he pulls me into the office and he tells me, hey, we are letting you go. So I said, excuse me? He goes, yes, you are being terminated. And I says, why? So he goes, you left the safe open. So I asked him, I said, no, I've never left the safe open before. So he had took pictures of the open safe, showing me this open safe. I never saw the video footage. He never showed me the video footage of me leaving the safe open, which I should have. Now that I look back, I should have asked to see the video. But at that point, when someone's letting you go, even if I would see that video and I saw that I did not leave the safe open, it wouldn't have made a difference, because now at this point I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to fire me. So I'm like, hey, whatever. So he shows me these pictures of an open safe or whatever, and I'm like, okay, oh my God, whatever. I had never left no safe open. Never. I had never, literally in all my career, I've never ever left a safe open, ever. I'm very secure when it came to money, but apparently I left the safe open. So I says, okay. And he asked me, hey, I need your keys. I get my keys. I was going to make a big scene of it, but I said, you know what? Not going to do it. I was raised better than that. So I just gave him my keys and I left. And from there, I never went back to that Walgreens, and I left that at that. But that is how I got fired from Walgreens. Personally, how I felt about that was I was discriminated against. I felt like he didn't like me from the beginning. I always could tell that he did not like me at all, especially with my religion. Like, I would mention that, like everybody knew I was Muslim and everything, and he just didn't like that. From the beginning, it was all bad. It was all bad, and I felt set up and everything. But I didn't pursue it more because I realized, hey, at this point, it's kind of pointless, because if someone's trying to fire you, even if you fight it and win, that still lingers over you that they're trying to do that. So I just left it alone, and then that's how I got fired from Walgreens. And from that, getting fired from Walgreens, everything started to kind of go downhill and everything. But that's a different story. I will tell y'all that if you want to hear it one day. But this video is getting pretty long, and that's pretty much it. But that is how I got fired from Walgreens. But thank you for watching. If you want to follow me on my social medias, I will have it in the links below. And also, if you want to subscribe, show me support, put a like on this video, or if you want to go watch my last video of how I got my first job at McDonald's, you can go watch that. But hey, stay beautiful, stay young, and you are great. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell everybody this: you cannot love another until you learn to love yourself. But thank you for watching, and that is how I got fired from Walgreens.